So what is up, amigos? Hope you're doing awesome. My name is Maddie and welcome back to my channel. You know, there are some films you walk into with a certain aura already built around them. A dark Malayalam thriller, Mammootty in one of his most unsettling roles, the backing of Mammootty Company, and a trailer that hints at dread and psychological tension. Naturally, I prepared myself for something intense and layered. Kalamkaval had all the ingredients that usually create a memorable experience. It looked like a film that could either disturb me or surprise me, or at least take me into a space I was not expecting. But after watching it, this is probably the first time I'm talking about a Malayalam film, and specifically a Mammootty project, where I have to say I'm not fully impressed. The film is not weak and it is not a misfire either, but it settles into a space that is simply okay. And when it comes to Mammootty, okay feels underwhelming. I genuinely expected a mind-bending experience, and instead I found myself in a very simple and familiar territory with hardly any surprises. So Kalamkaval is loosely inspired by the Cyanide Mohan case, the same case that recently shaped Hindi series like The Hard and Hindi film like Bhagwat Chapter 1. Now, when a story has already been told in different formats, the burden shifts to the new film to add something fresh. Either explore the psychology more deeply, or build a more layered investigation, or use the fictionalization to reveal something more sinister. This is where the film holds back. The screenplay moves in a straight, predictable line and does not try to outgrow the familiarity of the real case. Now, for a psychological thriller, the biggest missing element also is the psychology itself. The film explains the killer's behavior in one line as a simple killing urge and moves on. There is no exploration of his past, no insight into how he learned to mask himself, no behavioral clues that reveal how such minds develop. When you fictionalize a real case, you get freedom to explore the things the real world never answered, not to justify the man, but to help the audience understand what kind of mind hides behind ordinary behavior. Even a basic profiling approach like the brilliant English series Mindhunter does would have added depth, but the film never enters that space. Now, since the psychology remains shallow, the investigation should have taken over with intensity, right? But the procedural track also feels basic. There are no sharp deductions, no clever reveals, and no moments where the investigation actually surprises you. The story moves exactly the way you expect it to move. If the mind is not explored and the investigation is not layered, the thriller loses both its possible strengths. Another part that I really expected the film to explore was how the killer charms his victims. This is a very important part of the real case too, because it reveals the manipulation and the harmless mask he uses to approach vulnerable people. Kalamkaval does not show this at all. There are no scenes of conversation, hardly any, trust building or subtle deception. Without this, the character feels more like a shadowy presence rather than a mind we understand through behavior. This is a missed opportunity that could have added real tension. Now, coming to Mammootty, I want to be very clear. He is absolutely outstanding. His performance has so many small, chilling details, whether it is the unsettling smile, the dead calm while smoking, the relaxed posture before a murder, or the empty stare that tells you everything you need to know. He does not rely on theatrics because he does not need them. His silence itself creates fear. My only concern is that he chose a story space that has already been explored recently, and without new layers in the writing, even a brilliant performance like this cannot transform the film into something unforgettable. Vinayakan, in my view, is also very effective. Many people felt he underperformed, but I think the restraint is a deliberate choice. His character, Nath, is like the owl, silent, patient, and sharply focused. He does not show emotional swings, and he does not perform for the audience. He behaves like an experienced police officer who knows that reactions and stress only weaken the case. He carries a steady confidence, and I liked this grounded approach much more than the dramatic one. Now, the technical aspects of Kalamkaval are outstanding. The sound design builds a strong atmosphere. The cinematography captures the mood of early 2000s Kerala beautifully, and the entire film looks polished and immersive. The craft is never the problem. The problem is that the writing does not push the film into deeper psychological or investigative territory, even though the setup is ideal for it. The climax also feels predictable. By the time film reaches its final act, you already know where it's heading. The resolution does not shock you or elevate the experience because the path to reach that point is also very straightforward. Now, in the end, Kalamkaval is not a bad film at all, of course. It has strong performances, great atmosphere, and excellent technical quality expected from a Malayalam film, but it never becomes the layered or intense experience that the subject promised. For a Mammootty film with such a dark dark foundation. I expected something much deeper, and that is why the film feels okay to me, even though I truly wanted it to stay with me long after it ended. Thank you for watching me today. Do hit the like button if you like this content, our honest opinions and reviews, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, please. Until next time, you take care, stay awesome, and bye-bye.